Hey Steam Gent, just give me a sec. My mouse has got disconnected. Alright, I just had to crawl under my desk to get my mouse reconnected. I managed to pull it out. Righty-ho. Let's get the big screen on so I can read the messages. Okay, here we go. PA Piper is on. Hi, Steam Gent. What is tonight's show all about? Well, I must be honest. Hi, Hector. Who's a lucky boy at the moment, Hector? Cool, you're winning goals all over the place. Nothing in particular planned, just general chit-chat. I must be honest, when I first started, I've got a couple of things to show which I got in the post as well. When I first started, I must be honest that I did high smoking guns. I used to sort of write out a little itinerary of topics to talk about, and I still kind of try to have a bit of an idea in advance, but generally speaking nowadays it's just a chat, and it's just a nice central place for people to get together, people on the YTPC who know each other, just have a chat. My job is to kind of just hold it all together. I don't always have what to say. Sometimes you can get some quiet moments, but generally speaking, it seems to work okay. Yeah, Hector, absolutely. Hey, Jordan, betcha. Right, well, this evening up to now, which is why I'm late, is I just constructed a workbench this evening and just finished varnishing it, so that's why we're a bit late. Let me just see if I got a picture I can show you on my phone, my other phone. Here you go. So that's the workbench. Got the lathe underneath at the moment whilst the top level dries. Hi Signalman, hi Piping Pirate. So that's drying overnight, sanded the top to a nice smooth finish, and tomorrow morning I'll be laying out the lathe and a couple of other machines on there, and we'll be good to go. Evening, Tim. So that's really exciting. It's really moving apace. Since my visit up to Mike Billington at Blakemar Briars, it's kind of really moved up a gear or two, the whole sort of pipe making business. And you know, the reason why I was kind of hesitant the whole time to get a lathe is because I just couldn't get to grips with what it was all about, not having tried one. And that's why I went for the drill press, because a drill press is a drill, and I've got a drill, I've got several drills, so I know what a drill is. The only difference is that it's in a fixed sort of situation with a drill press, but other than that I was perfectly familiar with it, knew my way around the drill. So I kind of sort of tuned myself into that and was just building things around how that was going to work. But going up to Mike was really the best thing that I could have done. And even though I didn't have a particularly, I didn't want to say sort of that when I was, hi Chad, I didn't want to say that when I was there, because it was still a fantastic experience, but it wasn't a particularly positive experience in terms of using the lathe. I found it quite a struggle. He gave me a very small chisel to use, so I had very little grip on it, and it was quite a traditional type of chisel, and And I found it a challenge, but nevertheless, I still felt thrilled to be using it, and I could see potential. And I knew that if I was to get High Ohio, and I knew that if I was to get a good set of tools with a decent length of handle, that I would find it much more comfortable to use. So that's what I've done. I've ordered a set of tools, and they should be coming on Monday. And I ordered a decent set of tools because although a lot of the machinery I've not gone for the best, but with the tools I felt I should really go for the best that I could, because essentially that's what's going to be fashioning the briar and any other things that I decide to turn. So it made sense to me to get a decent set of tools. So there are sets of sets of 5 or 6. Hi Steph, thanks for popping. There are tools you can get for £20 or £30, and there are tools that you can get for £200. Sets of tools with the main sort of turning tools that you need. And I ended up ordering a set for about £140, £150. So not the best, but certainly way up there amongst the best. So I'm really hoping that will completely change my experience that I've had so far, especially the one that you use initially, the curved one. I can't remember what they're called now. But that one should be really the one that you start off a piece of wood with, turning with, so it gets rid of the heavy meat of the wood. I really want to see what that does. Anyway, so that's the developments there. So the workbench is up, varnished, and hopefully tomorrow we'll proceed with getting everything into place. Monday I've got, which is really cool, the company that I bought the lathe from, which is Axminster Tools, which is a very reputable company in the UK. And I probably paid about £100 more for the lathe because it's made by a reputable company. I'm still in two minds whether it's just branded or not, but certainly I get the impression that it's really good quality. But what I'd forgotten about was that when you buy some of their lathes, particular models, you get a free one-on-one 3-hour training session, so which is really cool. And I'd forgotten about that. I phoned them up on Friday and I asked them, can I book in a training session? And they said, yeah, sure, we'll put you through to your nearest branch. It turns out my nearest branch is probably about 45 minutes to an hour's drive away, but I think for a free 3-hour session it's worthwhile. So I'm booked in for Monday afternoon, which I hope to make, weather permitting. And so that will also really make a big difference to my, I hope it will make a difference and give me a good intro into wood turning. Eric, how you doing? Hi Sam. I bought a lathe. Why? I don't know. I want to make my own cutlery. I don't like buying cutlery from shops. We're going to turn some pipes, Sam. That's the idea anyway. Oh, you're kidding, right? I never get your sarcasm through your typing, Sam, somehow. Can I make you a toothpick? Hey Brett, hey Crazed Knight. How you doing, everybody? So, we've got some Dark Twist and Perique on the mat. You are an enigma, absolutely. And we're going to smoke it in the... Which pipe should we go for? I smoked my panel earlier on. Smokes really well, actually. It's about my 3rd or 4th bowl in this pipe since I got the stem put on by Mike. Foot. Road Glide Sully is in the house. I think I'll smoke it in my other self-made pipe. For you, so good. They named it twice. Matthew Rowe, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Dwarven Piper, good evening. Thank you for joining. So, we are going to light up this dark twist. Sam. I've run out of lighters. I don't know what I've done with my lighters. My desk, what you guys can see is just a corner. But the rest of my desk is an absolute bomb site at the moment because I was in a rush on Friday. And today a load of stuff came in the post and I just dumped it all on my desk. I can't find anything. Here we go. Guys, all chat to Quaker Piper because he's full of luck. And if you want something to rub off on you, chat with him. Lady Luck is certainly smiling. Make the most of it, Hector. Hi Joe, how you doing? So we're smoking some dark twist with some Perique added. Definitely good idea, switch to the Lotto. I think in the US you do have what? How did you win Izzy's without even entering? That sounds iffy. So yeah, in the States you do seem to have a lot more smoking lounges than we do have here in the UK, but of course in the US you could all be countries apart from each other. It's so vast over there. Whereas in London there are actually quite a few, you just don't know about them. There are quite a few upmarket ones, which I've never been to, which would be attended to by the Glitterati in the Square Mile of London, the Central Square Mile. So not only is Lady Luck on your side, but Baby Lucky is on your side. Good for you, Hector. I think it's either Harrods or Selfridges, but I think it's Harrods. They've just invested an absolute fortune in a cigar lounge, which apparently has got state-of-the-art extraction and stuff like that, which I'm yet to visit. Well, I'm sure they're glad you came again. Hi, Josh. So you guys remember that I bought a bunch of briar blocks from Alexander Briars in Greece. He sent me the package, but it was sans stems. I ordered a bunch of stems and they were missing. I ordered about 12 or 13 stems and I only got one. And so he was kind of incredulous. He thought I was messing about. But he did send me them. To his credit, he just sent me them and I've received them. So got a bunch of stems here to be getting on with. So as soon as I get a pipe out of the works, I'll be able to attach stems to him. And I got a bit of a mystery package today from somebody in Eastbourne. I could find no bro note. I should probably do a Yabo video just to make sure that whoever sent it sees it, because I don't know if they'll watch my London Calling videos. Hey Art, how you doing? And this is what I got. Somebody sent me this beautiful tobacco jar. Take a pipeful. It's a jade green kind of colour. It's been used, you can see it's been used. But I haven't the foggiest idea who sent this to me. There's an address on it, but no name. And I'm not going to call out the address, so I don't know, I hope whoever it was comes forward. Don't know what I've done with the little sticker with his name and address on it, but it's on my desk somewhere, in amongst the bomb site. That is my desk this evening. I'm going to leave that there, in the hope that somebody says something about it. I have a secret admirer. I think I have more secret haters than admirers, by the look of the standard. And Noni Yabo, very good, yes. Hey Mike, how you doing? Will I be investing in what there, Matthew? Matthew, you got to watch that keyboard, brother. Hey Mike, how you doing? Mike as in Mike Blocker. Ooh, speaking about Briar Blues, hang on just a moment, because I found a letter from him in a magazine going back about 20 years. Hang on. Hang on right there. I bet you I won't be able to find it now that I'm looking for it. Ah, there we go. Pipe Smoker's Welcome Guide, 1997. This one's from 1996, and I've got 4 of these. I picked up 3 of them just now at Mike Billington's Blakemore Briars, and it's a lovely little magazine. It looks like it came out once a year, and it has lots of tips and letters and lots of recommendations for places to go throughout the UK. It's obviously a UK based thing, but people, it seems, got it around the world. And here we have a letter from Michael, who writes from British Columbia. And he reminds us that if you have 1 pipe, you are a pipe smoker. If you have 2, you are a collector. Michael has been both for the last 20 years. His favourite is W.O. Larson, number 3 straight grain. And he's always looking for new makers to add to his collection. Favourite tobaccos are straight Virginia flakes, but he enjoys a good Oriental. Don't we all? Very cool, Mike. Absolutely, Tim. I absolutely agree with you on that. But I do enjoy the Pipe and Tobacco magazine, which comes out. and in one of the other ones, there's a guy. Oh, what's his name? Tim, you'll remember his name. Is it Chris Morley? Chris Morley. He's on the UK group, UK TPC group on Facebook, and I found in the other one of these a letter from him. So I put that on the group, which is very cool. Well, how many Mikes with your surname are there, would you think? Have you got any other Mikes in your family? Perhaps your father? Yeah, it's a coincidence then. Very interesting. Well, Ogdens themselves have gone by the wayside, haven't they? Ah, very good, Tim. Well, if it would have been Bearded Welshman, then he would have penned it. At least nowadays it would have. Because apparently you can write letters with a pen. Oh, I completely forgot. Joe Case had a sale recently. Don't see much of him on YouTube these days. And he was selling off a couple of his pipes. So that was the other box that I got today. Can't get a word in edgewise, yeah. Yeah, so Joe Case was selling off a couple of his own pipes that he's made, and that he'd smoked lightly. Anyway, he put up about 4 pipes, 3 or 4 pipes, and I nabbed a couple of them. And here they are. I must be honest, I'm really not buying that many pipes at the moment, given that I'm focusing on making pipes. Hi Doug, yeah, for sure. $19.97, I think, was the one with your letter in it, or your namesake, excuse me. I've got one particular pen which I've had for a long time, and I think I have to get a new refill for it. Where is it? It's a cross pen which I think my wife bought me, if I'm not mistaken, and I've looked after it. I've looked after it so much that I don't use it. Yeah, PA Piper, that guy is Mike Billington, and he is Blake Marr Pipes. It's just him and him alone. It's all him. He took over the workshop from his uncle. And yeah, he's really cool. Well, Jordan, I don't really have a passion for pens. I have a passion for pipes, so I'm going to start there. We'll see how we go from there. I think we're going to be doing some pipes and maybe some tampers to start with, and we'll see how it goes. Let me just go back on some of the questions. Oh, sorry, I was in the middle of showing you the Joe Case pipes. Alright, that can wait a bit. I'll keep you all on tender hooks. Yes, Sam, it would be quite tough smoking a pen. So, Doug, you asked the question, has anyone smoked the new Sheraton matches? I've only smoked one of them, I think. It's just the Navy Rolls, the Rolls it's called. The Pipe Club of London, which meets on the second Tuesday of every month, which will be meeting on the 12th of February, actually has a representative coming over from Sheraton, or the company that owns the Sheraton blends, and they're going to be bringing samples along. So that's pretty exciting, and I hope I make it. So that would be nice to try. I hope they'll be giving us blends of each of them, because it would be good to try them all out. So that's quite exciting. The only really decent filtered one he's got is the one that I showed in the video, which is 90 odd pounds. It's a cracking looking pipe, Tim. I mean, if that's in your budget, just snap it up. It's a fantastic pipe. Eric has one similar to that, although his one's not filtered. But yeah, definitely, I would grab that if I was you. I mean, he'll make any of them filtered if you just order it in advance. I don't know what his turnaround time is like these days. Doug, his prices for a start are phenomenal. I mean, you can, as I showed in the video, he's got his basket pipes are less than £20. I mean, that's mad, and they're good pipes. They're pipes that will smoke like any other pipe. And I didn't really spend time in there to see why they might have been seconds or to really look at the quality of them. I was really focusing on videoing him at work, but and I'll be honest with you, I took more footage than I actually put up. Cheers, Lord Dog, have a good one. I just was conscious that the video was already almost an hour long, and I just didn't want it to be ridiculously long. But there was a lot of footage, but in any event, I didn't really get a chance to look closely at those pipes. Hi Mitch, thanks for joining. Yeah, sounds good, Tim. I personally don't go. I don't go for acrylic stems. I really don't. And I'll be honest with you. Once I do get into making pipes, hopefully in a good kind of way, I probably won't do acrylics. I'll probably be doing ebonite and Cumberland. Yeah, I mean, his straight grains, I showed a couple in the video, they're about £144, so it's just over $150, probably $160, $165 for the real top ones. And you can trust me as much as you like, PA Piper, but it doesn't mean I'll make a good pipe. I'm certainly going to strive to make good smoking pipes. That's I can't promise to be making, the highest end. It also depends on the briar that you get, very much. And my aspiration is to be an honest pipe maker, so to make a decent pipe, and if it doesn't work out, is not to just put it in there and hope for the best, Yeah, the Polish pipes are really good. I've got I've had quite a few of them, but I've still got one which I haven't smoked yet, and it's a 9mm. Well, it's not 9mm, but Ian Walker converted it for me. This one is a really lovely rustication on this pipe. Nice. It reminds me of Moretti, this pipe, the shape of it. Ian Walker put this 9mm on for me and put the silver band on. I think he must have. I'm just wondering if he did something to the shank. I'm not sure. But he put a silver band on it. But I still have to break this one in. It's pre-coated, so maybe one day. Not sure why it's still sitting there unsmoked, but there you go. But that pipe, the Polish pipe, I probably paid about £30 for it. Yeah, so in terms of acrylics and that kind of thing, although the truth of the matter is, even with acrylic, you can put a softy bit on it, or you can put a heat shrink sort of sheath on it, and I'd probably be fine with that, to be honest. So I should never say never, I suppose. People do like the acrylic stems because of how attractive they are. They're just really, they've got some stunning colours, the swirly stems, and they're just really pretty to look at. This near up here is a good example. A nice, pretty, colourful stem. And this one actually is extremely comfortable now that I think about it. Hi Matches, good evening, thanks for joining. Haven't had the chance to watch back your Friday Night Live yet, but I will do. But this is actually something that I want to really get to grips with, is the shaping of the bits, is to make sure that when I do make the pipes that they are comfortable. And this one, I find it to be extremely comfortable. But I suppose everybody has a different idea of what works for them. And maybe that's something that I'll try to focus on. If people have a particular shape of bit, then I can try to do that if it's a custom order. But I'm way off. I'm way off from that kind of stage. At the moment, I just really want to be able to put out a pipe that's a reasonable shape and internal construction. I'm way off from taking orders and things like that. I've never been good at taking orders from anybody. So initially it will be ebonite and possibly Cumberland stems. Something for the future. But there's still another piece of equipment that I need to get. Is well, Hector, I had that feeling myself when I first started smoking a pipe. I also put bits on all of them, softy bits, because I didn't want to ruin them. But when you get to a point where you've got pipes which you're smoking on a daily basis almost, and those are your pipes, you might as well stick them in your mush and smoke them, because you've got to be comfortable with them. And I just got to a point where I found the softer bits were not comfortable. It was just too much of a mouthful, and I just wasn't enjoying it. So I took them off, and I haven't looked back. And if there's a particular pipe which I'm really worried about the stem, or I'm not sure that I'm going to keep it, and if I want to sell it, I don't want it to be damaged, then I'll put a heat shrink on it. I must be honest that I'm not one for holding a pipe in my hand. I do clench quite a bit. A lot of the times I'm working whilst I'm smoking, or I'm driving, and although some people really advise against driving and having a pipe in your mouth, I do. Somebody made a video a while back about how to smoke a pipe whilst driving, and he said because of the advent of airbags or God forbid a crash, you should never have a pipe in your mouth. You should always hold it in your hand, because if you involved in an accident, you get the stem shoved right down your throat and possibly through your larynx, and God forbid what else. So when I'm smoking a pipe, I just have it, if I am clenching it, I'll have it pointing to the side, so if something did hit me, it would just fly out the side. No, it's not illegal in the UK. There's so few people smoking a pipe, I think it would be, it just wouldn't have got their attention, to be honest. The question is whether they make smoking cigarettes illegal, or vapes. Vapes is sometimes quite comical. You could be behind a rolling cloud sometimes. Hi Ryan. Smoking should be done sat in an armchair. I would rephrase that and say smoking can also be done smoking in an armchair. People should smoke in whichever way it suits them and whichever way they enjoy it. And one of those ways certainly is in an armchair. Hi, Wildcat. See you, matches. Have a good one. Sleep well. Nighty night. Smoking jacket and slippers on. That sounds good. So in terms of nose warmers, I used to smoke a lot more nose warmers, but I don't smoke many nose warmers. I suppose you could kind of call this a nose warmer, but the stem, I think, takes it out of those realms. But I don't really smoke nose warmers. This is about the shortest pipe that I've got at the moment. And I must be honest, it doesn't get smoked a whole lot these days. Right, let me take a bit of coffee. Yeah, the 320s I have had, but I haven't bought since because I do find them too heavy. And I also find that the bit very quickly gets very fat. If that makes any sense to you. If you imagine this is a 320, basically the stem gets thick really fast, and I find that sometimes crowds my lips a little bit. Depends on the particular one that you're smoking. You know, they can all be slightly different, but I find the 320, although it smokes well, as a hand holder it's a great pipe, but for my style of smoking it doesn't really work for me. I agree on the Bones pipes. The Bones pipes are good smokers. I've had a couple. I had a couple of the nose warmers, and I had a regular shaped one. I think it was a billiard, the bent billiard. The bent billiard I gifted to Paul Turnock. Now that's a while back. I think that was his first pipe. And I gave another one, which was I think it was a Bones bent brandy. Who did I give that with? Jonty Piper. I think I gave that to Jonty Piper. But I have seen since some 9mm ones in Europe. You can buy in Germany 9mm. I think you can get them on Danish Pipe Shop as well. You can get 9mm Bones pipes, which is really cool. I might try one of those. As I say, I'm rarely buying pipes now that I'm aiming to make my own. But the nose warmers, they do. I do find that they do smoke warm. You have to really keep your cadence down on those. 320 overrated? I don't know. It's a matter of a personal taste. I personally don't get on with it, but I'm sure a lot of people really absolutely love the 320. There's a huge fan base for the 320. Yeah. Matthew, it depends the type. As Tim says, it really depends on what your taste is, but I always recommend, and I've said this many times on my channel, I recommend Erinmore. Erinmore mixture, a great tobacco. It gives you a good Virginia tobacco with a little bit of aromatics added in, and it's a good intro into any kind of genre. You get a bit of Virginia in there and a bit of aromatic. And I think it's available everywhere, Erinmore, pretty much. Okay, so if you want to see the Mr. 70. Yeah, I hear that, Quaker Hector. But Erinmore, I think, is an exception. I do think Herferville, good evening, good morning. Erinmore is an exception. It's not a heavy aromatic at all. Okay, so the two Joe Case pipes that I got, and the reason why I got them is because they looked hefty enough, and these are nose warmers in fact, is that they look convertible for 9mm, but we'll see. If they're not, I'll probably sell them. So here's number one. I don't know if the lighting's okay for you guys, if you can see what it is. A nice poker. Have I said hello, Art? I'm not sure if I did, but hello. Nice rustication on there. This is Joe Case 2011. Actually, I haven't had a close look at this yet, but I'm just looking at it. This stem, he must have made this really early on because he hasn't finished the stem properly. Still got the lines down the side. Hasn't sanded it, it's a really thin. I'm probably going to make my own one. I can see he hasn't made this stem, it's hollow. It's a really cheap stem. The pipe is beautiful. Maybe he cracked a stem and put another one on just to get it on the road, but it does need a new stem. It's not a filtered pipe, but it will take one by the looks of it. So I don't think a 9mm stem will go into it. It will need a little bit more drilling, but not much. That should work. I don't know, it's just a real cheap plasticky stem. And you can see right through it there. It's like it's hollow. I think it's just two halves which have been probably pressed or stamped and stuck together. A 6mm mark, yeah, you're right. I don't know if it'll be long enough though. I don't think that area is long enough. And but the pipe is great. And this is the next one. Nice smooth top. Got one of these, it's a Cumberland sort of what do they call these ones? Spliced stem. This one 2014. Really nice rustication on that. Like a sharp edged. I think he calls it a faceted rustication. Got a spinner. And this one's got a Teflon tenon by the looks of it. And this one, actually looking at it, probably shouldn't mess around with it. It's a fun, yeah, it is a fun pipe. But I probably shouldn't mess around with this one. So I might well sell this one. But this one would be nice to convert to 9mm. I thought this one would also be cool because it looked pretty thick, pretty thick enough to convert, but it might be doable. No, it won't be. I don't think I could do this one. I mean, if I drilled it, no, I couldn't convert this one. I could do that, Eric. I could. I doubt that I will. But I could. That's a nice pipe. You don't see many showcase pipes out these days. I think he does his custom orders and that's it. The Perique, and this particular blend of Dark Twist and Perique, I must say the Perique does overtake the actual overall profile of the Dark Twist. There's 8 grams of Perique in this against 76, so it's roughly 10%, which is a fairly high percentage of Perique. Oh, has he stopped? I didn't know that. I haven't seen your Castello yet, Road Glide, so I'll have to pop over and see that in due course. I really like Perique as well. Who won Mike's giveaway? I didn't watch it. That's an idea, Mike. Yeah, what I'll probably do with this is I'll probably leave it, set it aside until I've got more experience and decide if I want to do something with it. Maybe just make a new stem, which would be a bit of a shame given the creativity of that one. And I reckon this was early on when he was trying out this as an experiment. 2014, so it's not that early. But it's a nice pipe. It's got a good balance. Cool. Good job, Mike. I'm looking forward to receiving challenge number 3. Hasn't come in as yet. The pipe that I'm smoking is a self-made pipe. Well, actually I made it. The pipe didn't make itself. But it's a pipe I made a couple of months back. I think it was over the Christmas holidays. The plateau top, nice grainy pipe, and it smokes exceptionally well. I smoke it quite often. Cheers, PA. Yeah, it definitely is. I must say that this pipe, so far out of all the pipes that I've made, no, it hasn't arrived yet. Either Hugh or Harriet, whoever you are. It is definitely enjoyable to smoke your own pipe. I've got as I say, I've made half a dozen now, and this is the one so far that I smoke the most. It just seems to have worked. Hey Harriet, hasn't arrived yet. It's not his career now either, Mr. Smoke Guy. He's hi Chris. He's a reporter. He reads the news or the weather or something like that in his locale. I don't know if he's retired or not, but that's what he was doing. He was a, what do you call it, a newscaster or whatever it is. As far as I know, it never was his full-time job, making pipes. It would be a shame if he stopped making pipes, because he actually makes some really, really nice pipes. I think the poker, anchor presenter, yeah, I think the poker really is his trademark. It's probably the shape that he does the most. And he does it really well. Yeah, it does really look... I think he calls it his Mad Hatter series, this shape, and he does it really well. Hector is in the zone at the moment, because he even won a goal that he didn't enter. That's cool, Grumpy. Show us. It would be nice to see some of your pipes. The pipes that I've made so far, which I can call pipes. The other one I made, I can't really call a pipe, which was my first ever attempt. But it did smoke. This was pipe number 2. Like a sort of poker-ish, cherry wood-ish. That was my first sort of decent, half-decent attempt at a pipe. This was the second one, or third one actually, but second one that I could call a pipe. Had some really nice grain on it. Hi, Indie Piper. Then there was then there's this one, which is the panelled billiard, which I just smoked earlier this evening, and it smokes very, very well as well. It's got quite a nice shape to it, considering this is basically freehand, done on a sanding wheel. These are all done freehand, by the way. I mean, this, it's not perfectly round, but it wasn't done on a lathe. This was done by hand. That was the next one. And the fourth one, Mike at Blakemar still has the fourth one. He's doing a stem for me. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Art. I did... where's that phone? 1 second. Here you go. I did this with a regular 2x2 on Thursday night, I think it was, which is just practice. It's just a square 2x2, and just did a little bit of turning, sanding, and it came out pretty nice. That's actually quite a big piece of wood. It's probably about a 12-14 inch piece of wood, 2x2, 2 inches by 2 inches, and that was my first real stab at turning. and that was done with a regular chisel. That's a big tamper, yeah. That'll work with one of those big, what do they call them? Those big grizzly pipes. And this evening I just finished making this bench, and I varnished it up. Here's the lathe underneath. It's all ready to go. Hopefully by tomorrow morning it'll be nice and dry, and we'll start to set the thing up. Mario Grande, for the most part, made regular sized pipes. But if you go online, go on YouTube, and you search grizzly pipes, just be prepared to see some interesting characters. What's his name brought one? James Pottsville Piper. Yeah, they are Boswell pipes. All of the grizzlies are Boswells. And you see some guys out there with pipes the size of your arm. No, I agree with you, Smoky Mouth. London carving, yeah, good one. I've actually got a name in mind, which I will reveal once I get started. This is probably my biggest, heftiest pipe. This is the Mario Grande. It's actually a nice pipe. It's got some nice grain. Nice diamond shank. This is something that I do need to I want to get my hang of as well, is making a diamond shank. Not tried that yet. Look at that grain. Do you smoke such big pipes, Art? I find them, they get to a point where they're just not... Yes, Bull City, you could knock somebody out with it. It's a bit of a doorstop. The reason why I bought that originally, I bought that right in the beginning, and I was trying Virginia pipes, you know, you're talking about 3 years ago, when I wasn't anywhere near a filtered pipe. And I was trying everything to try and deal with a tongue bite, and I thought that if I had a big, thick walled pipe, that it would somehow keep things cooler. But what I didn't realise at the time was that it might feel cooler to the hand, but it's not necessarily cooler internally in the combustion area. Not with you, Sam. What do you mean grain's the worst? I'm smoking some dark twist, which I've added some Perique to, and then I've pressed it. Hi Piper Hips. In terms of ventilation, at the moment what I've got is I bought myself a sort of workshop vacuum, which will attach to various machines, but obviously the lathe it wouldn't help with. But you know, I'm taking sort of baby steps in terms of investment. I've invested quite a bit of money so far in this setup, and now I've got to really put it to practice and see if it works, and see if it's something which I can do to a reasonable quality. Once I have sort of gotten to that and I feel that I can make a go of it, then I'll consider really doing a proper setup with proper extraction and ventilation. And it's in the garage, so it's very well ventilated in general terms, but not in terms of when there's dust flying around. So I've got a mask, I've got a protection mask, I've got a dust mask. Probably have to get a better dust mask. So it's pretty portable in terms of dust at the moment, but you know, as my proficiency grows, so will the professionalism, hopefully. I would love to do an American tour. I would absolutely love to do that. Yes, certainly the Italian pipes have got a good share of the reputation for good pipes. No question about it. There's a lot of storied companies there. France used to be, you know, huge in pipe making, and it still does, but not anywhere near to what it used to. And they don't appear to really be a big player on the world market anymore. America is just full of artisan pipe carvers. I don't know if there's any like world supplying factory pipes makers in America anymore, besides for maybe Missouri Meerschaum. Yeah, there's loads in Italy. You've got Ser Jacopo, you've got Ardor, you've got Armelini, you've got Castello, Ascorti. I mean, a lot of them are all from the same families as well. Dr. Grabo, yeah, that's true. France certainly invented that you used briar for pipes, yes, for sure. Briar works, kind of. I don't think Briarworks could be said to be on the same level as Savinelli, for instance, or Stanwell. Not that kind. Oil cured briar is they basically they end up being sweeter pipes. They just smoke well, and the oil curing takes out any of the bad stuff, basically. Radice, yeah, for sure. The good English companies used to do a lot of oil curing. So the Ashtons, I don't know if they still do it, but certainly when Bill Taylor was doing it, he was known for having a particular oil curing method which made his pipes very sweet. Dunhill, I don't know if they still do, but they certainly did do oil curing. And Les Wood, Sheraton's probably, they all had their own way of doing their... Radice does oil curing as well. Yeah, I don't know if Dunhill still do or not. Yeah, Moretti does as well. He does. Yeah, his pipes are good. I don't think I've had issues with any Moretti pipes smoking well from the off. But Art, yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I've said it before. Savinelli is probably the pound for pound, certainly up there as one of the best factory pipes that money can buy. And I would say certainly Stanwell as well. And you know, some of the American sort of the more recent companies like Dagner pipes and OMS pipes, which are really sort of a boutique brand, if you like, but they're all made in Italy as well. I mean, if you look at the OMS ones, they're, as far as I'm aware, although I don't know personally, but I would say that yeah, the pre-Italy ones, the Danish Stanwells are the best. Yeah, definitely. I've got two of them, and they both are fantastic. But they're made in Italy, and the Morgan pipes are also made in Italy. The general lines, obviously, he makes some himself occasionally, but the general lines are made in Italy, and they probably all go to the same manufacturers. As far as I know, Dagner's and OMS are the same pipes, just different finishes, different rustication. But essentially the same type of pipes. Olden Cut is the bomb. I didn't see that one, Art. No, sorry. Pipe and Tampa, how you doing? Italy loves pipes. I think Germany loves pipes more. I think Germany probably per capita smokes more pipes than anyone else in Europe. And they also smoke the most 9mm pipes. Well, unless they change the production, there's no reason why the pipes should change from being mediocre pipes to being any worse than mediocre pipes. Just my opinion there. Indie Piper, me too. I would very possibly have gone by the wayside in terms of pipes if not for finding 9mm pipes. I was at a point at the end of 2017 where I was smoking cigars more than pipes because I just wasn't getting on. I was getting a bit fed up with Latakia, which I was managing without a filter. Couldn't smoke Virginias, couldn't smoke Vapors. And I was just getting fed up and I was just smoking cigars. And then I suddenly found 9mm pipes, and haven't turned back since. Been enjoying Virginias and Vapors all the time. Pipe smoking certainly does seem to be alive and well. Just the question of what legislations are brought in various countries. Here in the UK, according to Mike Billington, I asked him in the video, you know, whether he felt there's been a resurgence here in the UK, and he says he never noticed a drop-off. He says he's been busy throughout his career. And what really surprised me, because I thought that a big chunk of his custom would be from the US or Europe, but he says the vast majority of his work is in the UK, which I was shocked by. I really was. Look, I can't really comment about Peterson's because I've only had bad experience with them, unfortunately. So I can only go by my own experience. But the 2 or 3 Petersons that I've tried have all had issues, all gurgled a lot. Now you expect pipes to gurgle. But the ones that I've had have gurgled to a ridiculous level. So I don't really buy Peterson's. Yeah, I mean, I still smoke cigars, but not as much as I was. I would say about a year ago, I was smoking probably on average 2 cigars a day, sometimes more. And now I'm probably smoking 3 or 4 a week, if that, sometimes. How many bowls a day? Sometimes it could just be, I generally smoke half bowls. So I'll probably have, depends what I'm doing, but I will probably have somewhere around 4 half bowls a day, something like that. So roughly 2 bowls of tobacco. No, this is a Nirrup. It's not a Winslow. This is my London Fog pipe, but I'm out of London Fog, so I haven't been smoking it for a while. Well, when I say out of it, it's not true. I don't like to say things which aren't true. I've got some, but I've put away to age. But in terms of a current stash that I'm smoking, I haven't got any. Five bowls. Nice one, Ryan. Good for you. This is my second bowl so far today. The first one was in the panel pipe and I haven't finished that, so by the time I'm done tonight I probably won't even have had the full bowl. Oh, nice, Art. We generally see you at work smoking most of the time, and occasionally on your patio. Well, I guess eventually that might happen, Tim, but there's other replicas that, you know, could be used. I've got a fair amount of the 515 RC1, which I can make London Fog with. I haven't tried that yet to see how well it works, but might be an idea to maybe give that a go, actually. I do need to get some more Orbit Golden Sliced. I don't smoke aromatics that often. I mean, at the moment, the only aromatic I'm smoking is Erenmore, which technically is an aromatic, but I find it to be a very light aromatic. So I'm smoking that a fair amount. That's about the only one. You know, Blood Red Moon, once in a blue moon. Excuse the pun. A red moon on a blue moon. Who has 16 bowls a day? Hector, you didn't say 16 bowls a day, did you? Oh, somebody else, 16 bowls a day. I think you could get tobacco poisoning if you're having that much tobacco. Well, that's more than me, Ryan, at the moment, that I'm smoking currently. As I say, the only bit that I've got is that I've put away to age. It's somewhere on my shelf behind me. But that's staying there. I want to see how it matures over time. And if I keep dipping into it, it won't have a chance to age. London Fog is a brew that I put together a while back of McClelland's Virginia Woods and Orlick Golden Sliced, and it's one of those blends that just clicked, it just worked, and I smoked an awful lot of it. I gave away tons of it, but now obviously Virginia Woods is no longer available. Yeah, I've seen that London Fog somewhere. I have seen that art. So I still have a few tins of Virginia Woods. I'm not sure how many I've got left, but I've got a few. So I'm probably going to crack one in the near future when I get some more Orlick Golden Sliced, which I can't get from the Danish Pipe Shop anymore, as they don't ship tobacco out of Denmark anymore. So I'll probably have to get that from the US at some point. You can't buy it here. You used to be able to buy it here. And there's a band I think called London. Oh no, sorry, that's London Calling. The Clash, yeah. Yeah, definitely. They probably think that I hacked theirs. Good night, Doug. Thanks for joining. Still got a few blends that I need to try. Yeah, Tim, yeah, that's right. This is Wessex Red Virginia Flake, which Mike Blocker sent to me, Gamecock. Haven't tried it yet. And Union Square. I might have tried this one. I don't remember if I tried it or not. I think I might have tried it and didn't enjoy it that much. I think this one was straight Virginia. Not sure. My setup is I'll take a picture of it with my other phone and show you. It's really nothing fancy. My desk is in the right state, so don't judge me. So this is my setup. I'm recording now on this camera here, this phone here, it's a 5SE. And I have a big screen there tuned into my channel where I get all the messages. And that's it. I have a lamp over here on the right. I have another lamp there, you can see the reflection there of the lamp. I have another lamp on the left, so it just gives me some decent lighting, in theory. And that's it. I've got a lapel, a lavalier mic, which is right up on my lapel, close to my chin, so hopefully the sound is okay. And that's it. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Tim. If you've got a big enough screen and you've got a screen cam on it, then yeah, great. Hi James, thanks for joining. I generally have a live on Saturday nights, usually around midnight UK time. Yeah, you can just use your phone. And you can sometimes miss messages though when you're on a phone because it just flashes up for a few seconds. Absolutely, Indy, that's the idea. Which I said right at the beginning. Somebody asked, what the program is tonight, and I said no program. I used to always write down notes of things, and I used to be, hi Jerry, thanks for joining, smoking grandpa bones in the house. I used to, really, until you sort of feel relaxed when you do a live. In the beginning, I just felt that had to sort of have a program ready to talk about because I didn't want any dead space. But generally speaking, there's enough to chat about, unless I've got a particular topic that I want to talk about. But I usually leave topics for the morning drive. And this is just a herf. It's just a little a virtual pipe meetup. Thanks, Art. You're not too bad yourself. Yeah, Tim, absolutely. If it's definitely a good idea. It's only because you get to a stage where you've got people who you're familiar with, and good a lovely bunch of people joining, and you just have a chat, and you just feed off the messages that you get, and you just try to keep it rolling as best as possible. But I'm not scared of the dull silences anymore. You know, sometimes when you're in a fresh relationship, you're really awkward about the silences, and you get beyond that stage, and when you're in a permanent relationship, the silences are good. And that's a bit of an analogy to the YTPC. The silences are not too bad, and if there is a bit of silence, no matter. Cheers, James. Yeah, it is a really nice Nirup. I was really fortunate to grab this one. It's got some lovely grain. And I think the reason why I managed to get it for the price that I got it in the Danish pipe shop, I think, was this little sand pit here. Otherwise, it's almost flawless. It is a really nice pipe. Yeah, if the Nirup pipes on the Danish pipe shop are roughly, you know, you're starting at around 110 euros, and then you can go upwards to the Peter Jeppesen, his own ones that he puts his name to, which are supposedly a higher grade. You know, they can be anything from 180 to 250 euros, sometimes more. But they're a good pipe. When I first started off, I kind of didn't like the Nirups. I found them, the way I described it a while back, was I found that the staining and the shapes of some of them was quite comical. They were just at odds with traditional shapes. And then I started to really fall in love with them. I started to get, you know, what it was all about, and then I really, really liked them. And you know, if I wasn't able to hold my trigger finger, I'd be having a whole table full of them. They're really, really good value for money. In terms of smokers, are they the best smokers out there? In my personal experience, no. But you get good value for money. I can't afford a Sixton, unfortunately. I can't afford any of them. The Iverson pipes. Any of the high grades I can't afford. I would love to get one of his Acorns. The Sixton Iverson Acorns, which he made that shape, he invented that shape, where you have the where are we? Just find a similar shaped pipe. I mean, this isn't really a similar shaped pipe, but he's got where the bowl is smooth and it sits on what looks like an acorn coming out of a branch. So you've got a sandblasted stem with a bit of a sandblasted stummel, and it's almost as if the acorn is growing out of that stummel. So you've got a ridge which is smooth, and people copy that shape all over the place. But Sixton is the one who invented it, and that's a shape which I love. I just love the idea of it. The fact that somebody's dreamt up a new shape and made it his own, and it's now copied the world over. But his legacy is there's a few shapes which are his, which he invented, and he kind of revolutionized the piping industry to some extent. It may well attract squirrels, you never know. I think I'm coming to the end of this bowl. Stanwell often bring out shapes which are made by, I mean, they had a few shapes which were designed by whether it's Former or by Iverson, and I don't always like them, because although they're after the original shapes, because they're mass produced, they just don't quite cut it. And I've never really gone for one of those. Do I like meerschaums? What I can tell you is that I like briars. I've got at the moment 2 meerschaums, one which I do like smoking, but I prefer briars. So do I say I like mears? I can't really answer that because I don't smoke them enough to say that whether I like them or not. But I can say that I like briars. That's certainly my preferred medium for smoking tobacco, no question. I've tried corn cobs, I've tried meerschaums, I've tried mortar, but briar by far is my preferred media. I haven't tried a clay. I've got one sitting up there, a long one, which was given to me by one of the guys here in the UK, but I haven't tried it yet. The nearest I've got to a Forma pipe is a Bentley pipe, which is designed by Forma, and it's actually a cracking pipe. I've got to sort out this desk. This desk is ridiculous. The Bumbling Piper, I didn't know you were here. Have a good night. Enjoy your walkie. At this time in the morning, you're off to walk your dog. Whew. I was smoking some Mac Baren Dark Twist with some Perique added, which I blended back in December and which I pressed into cakes. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, although I don't know your tastes, Ryan, but it's a really good tobacco. It's funny how, you know, things change. Originally, Mac Barens were anathema to me. I couldn't smoke them, they were McBite. And now I'm really getting into the Mac Barens. I've been enjoying very much Amphora Virginia, the yellow pouch, and that's made by Mac Baren, and it's a great blend, and I'm really enjoying. I posted, I think it was on IG or possibly on Facebook or both, saying that that I was enjoying that blend, and there's a certain something which Mac Baren seems to add to some of their blends, which just lifts the blends. So even though Amphora Virginia is a Virginia, there's something in there which just lifts it and gives it a little bit of spiciness. I don't think there's officially any Kentucky or anything in there, but there's something in there which just lifts it, and I'm really digging that Mac Baren DNA, if you like, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I don't know what the casing is. Some say it's a bit of honey, or some people say it's a bit of maple. So I don't know what it is, but it's just good. Yeah, I mean our taste buds mature, you know, and the more. Somebody once said that it may have been Ben, the Artful Codger, that if you smoke any tobacco long enough, you'll start to see the virtues and enjoy it. Yeah, some people have mentioned Bold Kentucky. I haven't tried that, and I haven't tried Dark Fired, or whatever it's called. But people say it's really strong, so I haven't bothered yet. I don't know about Clan. People, that's a Marmite blend. You either love it or you hate it, I think. I think I smoked Clan when I first started, and I was on vacation, couldn't find anything else. And that's an OTC. I don't remember if I smoked it, or if I did, I didn't enjoy it. And I haven't smoked it since. But I think Tree likes Clan. Sleep well, Tim. I think the green tartan pouch is the quintessential OTC Clan. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for joining. Alright, so I think I'm going to do a little giveaway. No, the cigar tamper was made by Briarblade, I think, by Le Don Mott, if I'm not mistaken. That one there, I think it was made by Le Don. So what I'm going to give away tonight could be something monumental. I'm going to give away one of my pipes that I made. This is one of the earlier ones. I have smoked it a few times. So if you're not interested, I will understand that. But you never know. If I end up making pipes professionally, this could be something special as one of the first pipes that I made. So this is the one I'm going to give away. It's a 9mm pipe. Smokes perfectly well. It's got flaws as being one of the first pipes that I made, but still, I'm giving that away. Okay, so as always, whoever's in, say I'm in, starting from now. That's after Sam's last comment. Hector, I want to see if your luck holds out. You can go in if you want. David, you're asking your question. You're a cigar smoker and you want to transition to pipes. How best to do it? There's only one way. Take a pipe and stick it in your mush. There's no other way. You just got to smoke them. Try and get a decent pipe. try and get a tobacco that you enjoy. If you're a regular cigar smoker, how many cigars do you smoke on average a week or a day? Yeah, plenty of people put their cigar butts into pipes to finish off the cigar when it gets too hot to hold. So David, roughly how many cigars are you smoking? What cigars are you smoking there, David, if I may ask? Just to get an idea in terms of strength, so I can try and imagine what pipe tobacco might work for you. Because I did go through a phase myself where I was constantly asking on videos and things like that if people could give me advice on a tobacco that would give me the same satisfaction, the same, not necessarily the flavors of a cigar, but the same depth of satisfaction that I got from a cigar. And to be honest, I don't think I ever really found it. I just got more and more into pipes and just the getting attuned to the subtleties of different blends, and that was, you know, that's really the way I've gone. Well, hi Steve. I would say if you can get your hands on some of the McClelland Christmas cheers, that would be a good way to go. I know it's going to be difficult, but if you can, that would be a good way to go, because I found the nearest that I got in terms of getting the depth of satisfaction was from McClelland Tobaccos. What they do with the Virginia is just miraculous. The flavors that they manage to tease out of Virginia leaf is just phenomenal. So that's what I would encourage you to do, is to try and get hold of some McClelland Virginias and Virginia Periques. They're fantastic. If you can't, just try and get good, rich, strong vapors. Virginia Periques, and I think you'll find good satisfaction there. Dublin Piper is in. Thanks for joining. Very kind of you. Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear how you do, David. Bud rums, in terms of tobaccos with cigar leaf, in my personal experience, and it's obviously I can't speak for everybody, but my personal experience has been that if you're looking for cigar flavor, you're only going to get cigar flavor from a cigar. Because although there's plenty of blends out there which have got cigar leaf, McClelland themselves did one. What was it called? Maduro Glory or something like that, or something Glory. Just doesn't work. And therefore I changed what I was looking for, and I was looking rather for something which gave me the satisfaction, the depth of satisfaction, the fullness. Dominican Glory, that's the one. Thank you, Ryan. And that's really where I found benefit, was by stopping to look for cigar flavor, because a cigar flavor, it's always going to be a condiment in a tobacco, in a pipe tobacco which has got cigar leaf. It's going to be is going to be a condiment, the cigar leaf. It's going to be an addition. It's going to have a base of burley or a base of Virginia, and Yeah, 100%, Hector. It's not, the idea is not to make it feel like you're smoking a cigar. I tried the Dominican Glory. I didn't get it at all. I really didn't. Um, yeah, I've heard that Billy Budd is quite good actually. And a cigar is a different experience anyway, because a cigar is blended with usually 3 or 4 types of tobacco. Well, actually more, but the blending is probably 3 or 4 types of tobacco. But then you've got the binder and the wrapper, which also has an influence on the overall flavour. Um, yeah, Mike, sorry, Gamecock. Um, I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And that if, as I say, I'm taking sort of sensible steps with my investment in the equipment, but that will certainly be something for down the road if the project works. At the moment, as I say, the biggest investment I've made so far is the lathe. There's a fair bit of money, and that's really where I want to leave it. I wanted to get a bandsaw, and I didn't. And I really, if I feel that it is moving in the right direction, I probably will get a bandsaw. In fact, I might actually do that sooner rather than later, because I'm finding it hard to center the blocks. And if you use a bandsaw, you can square off the blocks, and it'll be a lot easier. But other than that, a sandblaster is definitely something in the pipeline, excuse the pun, for the future, because I'm a big fan of sandblasting. I love sandblasted pipes, and it would be really cool to be able to make my own. It would really be cool to make my own. Oh, ebonite, any day of the week. I prefer a good sandblast to a grainy smooth pipe. Excuse me, I'm just taking on a little bit of energy. In the form of some chocolate. No, never tried Drucker and Sons. Grumpy, I doubt it very much. I think the nearest you'd get to something akin to pipe tobacco would be some infused cigars, which I really don't like. The last infused one was somebody sent me. Actually, funnily enough, the ones that Art sent me, those weren't bad. I think I've smoked 1 or 2 of them. I still have a couple of them left, and those aren't bad. But the ones I had before that, I think I had a Java. Does that make sense? Java? Was it a Drew Estate Java? Is that a make? I think it was Drew Estate Java, and just putting the cigar in my mouth was already an indication that I wasn't going to enjoy it. It was so sweet. They obviously dipped the whole thing into something sweet, and it was too much for me. The Kentucky Fried Cured, I don't like those either. But again, it's a matter of taste. I had one Kentucky Fried Cured, and I had to keep it out of my humidor because the aroma on it was just so pungent. But when I smoked it, I didn't enjoy it at all. But sometimes a cigar is a cigar. Somebody said that earlier on. Yeah, a cigar is a cigar. Yeah, it could be that they only dip the cap. That makes sense. But it was like putting a stick of saccharine in your mouth. Artificial sweetener. And it was pretty rank. It goes away after the first third. Yeah, well, then it's very much like an aromatic then, isn't it? Yes, there are lactic cigars. I remember somebody on the YTBC smoked those when right in the beginning when I first started. I don't remember who that was. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's grab a piece of paper. Right, I'm going to dial back just to see who said I'm in, because we got a little bit sidetracked and carried on in the chat. Okay, so I've got number 1 is Ryan. Number 2 is OCD. Number 3 is Indy. Number 4 is Wildcat. Number 5 is PA Piper. Number 6 is Crazed Knight. Number 7 is James Stuff. Morgan Steele is number 8. You may well steal this pipe. Number 9 is PA Piper. You were in already, PA Piper. So number 9 is Harriet Heifer. Harriet Heifer. Number 10 is Josh. Posh Josh. Grump. Number 11 is David Penrod. Number 12 is SGP, Smoking Grandpa Bones, SGB. Number 13, lucky for some, is Tree. And number 14 is Gamecock. He's doing us a favour. He says, okay, I'm in as well. Fine. Twist my arm. Gamecock. Number... Pipes and Pictures, number 15. Pipes and Pics. Grumpy Old Geezer is not in. 16 is Art. Where's Hector in all of this? He's not in. 17 is Steve. Steve GNYC. Steve Gink. Something New York City. Eric. Oh, hello, Eric. Eric Ramkey, sooner rather than later. The Irishman is in. Does that mean in the gore or in the house? Dublin, are you saying that you're in the gore? Road Glides Hully, 19. Foot. Road Glide Sally. Okay, I think we're in. We're done. I'm going to read back. Okay, top 20. Number 1, we have Ryan. Number 2 is OCD Piper. Number 3 is Indie Piper. Number 4 is Wildcat. Number 5 is PA Piper. Number 6 is Crazed Knight. Number 7 is James Stuff. Number 8 is Morgan Steele, with a very distinguished photo on your handle, I might say. Number 9 is Harriet Heifer. Number 10 is Josh. Number 11 is David Penroe. Number 12 is SGB. Number 13 is The Tree. Number 14 is Gamecock Piper. Number 15 is Pipes and Pictures. Number 16 is Art Pipes and Spirits. Number 17 is Steve G. Sir. 18 is Eric Ramkison. Number 19 is Road Glide Sully. Dublin Pipe is number 20. Dublin Pipe. I live in the kingdom so far, far away, Argentina, so I won't participate. You're welcome to participate if you like. What are you on about, Sam? Did I ignore you? What? What? Oh, right, sorry, yeah, you're in. I like riling you, Sam. Sam is number 21. Lucky for some. Sorry, Sam, you're right, I did miss you. I always miss you, Sam. I miss you dearly. Okay, so we have 21 people in. Sam keeps me on my toes. He keeps me honest. Right, so we got 21. Uno. 21. 21. Okay. 1 out of 21. Just lit up a Doran Poker with homemade whiskey-infused Press Lane BS 005. It's a bit unfortunate, BS. Wow, this is good stuff. Well, I've actually toyed with getting a Doran Poker a few times. And since going to Grumpy Old Geezer, ooh, you got me by the skin of your teeth. 22. Grumpy. We got Pipe Grump and Grumpy Old Geezer. Grumpy Old Geezer, innit? 22. 22 Van Dun. Whiskey infused Press Lane. Cool. How's that smoke, the Doran Poker, Road Glide? Does it fit? Simon, stop procrastinating. Press the button. Stop chatting while we're all sitting here waiting on Tinderhooks. Oh, thank you, Josh. They smoke like a freight train. Yeah, they do. They do remind me a little bit of Jake Hackett pipes, that kind of thing, and perhaps the OMS, their first OMS pipe, which is quite a chunky kind of Dublin pipe, I guess you'd call it, a stubby Dublin. Okay, here we go, people. On your marks, get set, randomize. Number 12. Smoking Grandpa Bones. How about that? Well, it won't be the first time I'm sending a pipe to Smoking Grandpa Bones. If you remember, Jerry, I sent you really early on in my piping days. I sent you a Paul Menard pipe. Actually, a very cool pipe. I hope you get some good smokes out of it. See if I've still got your address. Somehow I doubt it. Let's just have a look. Don't have any great expectations, Jerry. It's one of my first pipes that I carved, so just bear that in mind, yeah. Hoo-ha! They just keep pulling me back in. Hoo-ha! Alright, Jerry, I'm putting my email address up. Send me your particulars. I can feel it in my bones. Like I said, Jerry, don't have any great expectations. It's a pretty poor showing. It smokes. It's a pipe shape, but it's not perfect by a long, long shot. But it's a good pipe. In terms of combustion, the drill is very central, bang on where it should be. You want a piece of me too, Sam? I give you a piece of my mind. Isn't that good enough? Just saying. Hopefully, if all things work out as we'd like, you'll all have a pipe of mine someday. Hey Corey, how you doing? Oh dear me. Yeah, I really do hope it does work out. I must be honest. It's you know, you go through life hoping that you'll find a job that you really enjoy. And I must be honest that I'm fortunate. My photography I enjoy the vast majority of the time. There are times when it's stressful and strenuous and uncomfortable when you're dealing with some people, but generally speaking, it's really nice, the photography. But you know, your photographic career in terms of longevity, you know, you get to a point when you need to think about retirement. I'm not near that, hopefully, but at some point. And I just think that, you know, developing a career in pipe carving will be a nice nice thing to do, and I think I'll enjoy it. I enjoy the creativity of it, so I hope it does work out. I'm really very philosophical about it, and I think that there's a fairly good chance that it won't work out. I suppose there's the, you know, you all have that hesitation and lack of confidence sometimes in your own creativity and abilities, but I'm hopeful and I'm trying to be positive about it, and Trying to do it in a way which is manageable and not too strenuous on my pocket, and we'll see how it goes. Cheers, Wildcat. I hope you will one day. Yeah, absolutely, Hector. I said that last time, I think it was last week or the week before, about photography. You know, you've got to be apprehensive. You've got to have that nerve in your stomach. You've got to have those butterflies in your stomach before you go to a job. Otherwise, it means you're not taking it seriously. Good night, Grumpy. But we'll see. I think the next big step for me is going to be using the proper tools. At the moment, so far, I've only had experience with regular wood chisels, and they're not designed for use with a lathe. And I've already developed a couple of bad habits, which is why I'm quite happy that I'm going to this training session on Monday, hopefully. It's quite close there, Tree. I've got a name in mind already. London Chuchin's pretty good, but I've got a name in mind, which we'll see. Yep. You read my mind, Hector. You read my mind. Yeah, I've got a name in mind. Yeah, cheers, Steve. Hope so. I've got to find some places where I can get. I want to get a stamp made. I want to really try and. That's quite close, Bud. I think there was a make beforehand called London Briar, possibly. But there'll certainly be, in the title, there will be London Made in there, I think. The actual name is going to be, it's going to involve my channel name, but I will probably have underneath it London Made, because I think that's a traditional, I really want to sort of evoke the traditional London aspect of it. And what I really would like to do is to get a logo made, which has my Big Ben logo on it, and then to have the title. So I want to get a stamp made. That's something which I really do want to do, but all of those things will come once I feel confident enough that there is some future in it. So the next stage really is, the real test is when the tools arrive. Gouge, that's the one I was thinking of, the gouge tool. So when the tools arrive, hopefully on Monday, and I get this training session under my belt, that will be the real test after that. And I'm looking forward to it. Jerry, thank you very much. I got your email. I got your particulars, so we'll get that pipe off to you in the near future. Manicured handmade. Hector, you are terrible. You are a provocateur. A liberal one, a socialist one, but a provocateur nonetheless. Big Ben is a cool name for a pipe. Unfortunately, it's taken. Oh, Charlotte is in the house. How you doing? LC Tanner pipes. London calling Tanner. Why Tanner? Ugh. Cool. Any idea of the types of finishes you'll be trying? I'm craving Castelli rock style restoration and style. Okay, so initially, in terms of they'll, depending on the briar, it'll either be smooth or they will be rusticated. I'm not going to be able to do sandblasted until I get a sandblaster, and that will be down the line some point, if, as I say, if the whole thing works out. But initially we're talking smooth and rusticated. If the briar is not up to being a smooth pipe, it'll be rusticated. And in terms of rustication, I'll be playing around with a rotary tool, like a Dremel type tool, which I've got. But what I really want to do is to do something like a Sea-Rock style. I really like that type of rustication, the Italian style of rustication. So I have to make myself a tool. I've also looked for one of those tools, but I haven't found them. So they look like they're reasonably straightforward to make. And what I plan to do is, using the lathe, it's one of the things I want to do, is to make myself something which is going to be shaped a bit like a doorknob, which I'll hollow out, and then put a load of nails in there with some composite glue, something like that, and that will be it, hopefully. Hey Curmudgeon Piper, you are late. We're going to wrap up soon. It's 10 to 3 in the morning here. And we're getting a wee bit tired. I think I'm going to have to leave my desk for tomorrow morning to clean up. As I said, it's a bomb site. And I still don't know who sent me this jar, this tobacco jar, which is, it says, take your pipe full. It arrived in the post today. It has an Eastbourne address on it, but no name. And I have no idea who sent it to me. I'm yawning a lot, sorry, apologise. I'm tired. Cool, Wildcat. Nice that you had your boys with you. JB Weld is best for... What is JB Weld? Is that like a composite glue? It's probably an American one, but there is, here we've got a glue called Araldite, which I bought the other day. Epoxy, that's the word I was looking for. Epoxy. Yeah, so that's the Araldite is an epoxy. Good night, Wildcat. Toodle pips. I really do want to know who sent me this, so I can thank them properly. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap up tonight, people. Thank you very much for joining once again. Yeah, Road Glad, please do. That would be really cool. There are a few people who have them there, and they've talked about what they've made and how they've made it, but not actually shown it being made. And that would be quite cool. But what I intend to do is to, as I say, get a piece of wood, make a doorknob style thing so it's easy to grip. There's plenty of size on it to grip, and I'll hollow it out and yeah, tie some nails together and glue them. Yeah, that's basically it. Probably get some headless nails. So everybody, Tree, Hector, Onion, Indie Piper, Ryan, Morgan Steel, Gamecock Piper, Bud Drums, Road Glide, Fit, Wildcats, Sam, didn't forget you, Sam, you see, Smoking Grandpa Bones, Eric, and And everybody else, thank you very much for joining. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. And you'll be hearing from me again. Really, really excited about getting my workshop on the road. So, there we go. Thanks for joining, everybody. Have a great weekend. And I will catch you on the very next one. Good night.